You are listening to From Ring to Veil.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And we are your wedding planning gurus.
We take the stress out
and put the fun back into wedding planning. Totally cool things to do at your wedding. Episode number 125.
Shannon found this fun, of course it's a BuzzFeed article, and we thought we would go through some of the things that we thought were actually kind of cool. Some of them I'm like, yeah, whatever, that ain't cool. But anyway.
Yeah, we all look at the BuzzFeed things on Facebook all the time.
I mean, there are a million of them, so.
You take the quizzes, you see their raunchy articles sometimes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so this one was to do about weddings, and so, it kind of flags us when it says wedding. Hey,
we're
maybe
like,
we need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a fun little episode. We're going to get started.
Okay. I would say get engaged without a ring is one of their totally cool things to do. I don't know if that's totally cool, but
I
mean, don't people do that anyway? I mean, it's not like it's a
if
cool
it's a
thing.
spur of the moment thing, yeah, I can understand that. But if you've planned this proposal, you better have a freaking ring.
I know. So this might be things that are cool and things that aren't cool. But
we're going to give you both opinions.
I had to point that out.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
But yeah, I mean, if you've planned a proposal, you better have a ring. If it's spontaneous and romantic and you're in the middle of the ocean in Maui and at sunset, and it just inspires you to say, hey, marry me. Mm-hmm. You don't need a ring then.
My husband and I got engaged without a ring. It wasn't a big proposal. It wasn't even planned out. We were just having a discussion. And then he just says,
Oh, how romantic.
I know. Well, I mean, it because of the circumstances and the conversation we were having, it ended up being really sweet.
Okay.
But it wasn't like he didn't have time. He knew he had decided, but he didn't have time to plan anything out because we were having this conversation. So, I mean, that happens. It's not like, hey, let's plan this totally cool thing of getting engaged.
I'm not going to talk about my engagement. So needless to say, it wasn't very special. Anyway, the next one is have a big ass public proposal. For introverts, this will not work.
I was going to say not for everybody, but if you know that the person you want to marry is that kind of person, do it. But if they're not, don't do that.
I'm sorry, I would be red as a tomato.
Yeah,
and
probably
hiding. Mad. Yeah, and crying. Like, how could you do this to me?
It was totally mortifying.
I mean, I would say no. Because I probably wouldn't say anything.
Right.
Is my problem. Yeah. I'd be too like, what the are you doing to me right now?
Yeah.
And to me, proposals are private things. Mm-hmm. The elaborate things it's just like now, like the promposals and all of this kind of stuff going around.
I get it. I do get it. And I think it's fun. It's fun for those who like it.
Yeah.
But again, for those who don't like it, it's not fun for them. You really got to know that person. And hey, if you're going to be proposing to them, you should know whether they are introverted and are going to really just not have a good time with this.
Kick you in the balls when you ask that question in front of everyone. I mean, even if it was in front of family, it's almost mortifying to me.
So then your husband should know not to do stuff like that to you.
Well, he didn't, but anyway.
You can propose as the woman to the man.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on the man.
Yeah.
If he's very manly.
Even then, I think it would be kind of, like.
He might get offended, though. Well, I mean, not offended, but like you might have taken the wind out of his sails. You know what I mean?
If he had something planned out because he was about to.
Right.
And you kind of knew he was about to, but then you like did it instead, that would totally piss him off.
But if you know he wants to, but you know he doesn't have the kind of personality to really make it something special, then you might want to do it yourself.
You can see if he's a baseball fan, that's when you can go, to the scoreboard and say, "Will you marry me?" if they did that to me, he would have got punched in the face.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys.
You're so mean.
I know. Get married or propose with a non-diamond ring. I am all for this.
Okay.
I'm not a diamond person.
Right.
I mean, yeah, diamonds are said to be a girl's best friend, but I'm not a blingy person. I want something understated. You know, my birthstone would be great. I love sapphires. I love emeralds, and I love rubies. So,
Right. Yeah, I think those are fine too, especially if that's what the girl likes.
yeah.
That was something, going back to my engagement, he asked me, he didn't have a ring. He's like, I want you to pick out what you want. And I limited myself. I went with something smaller because I knew we didn't have the money or he didn't have the money. You know, so I went with something smaller than what I would have probably wanted. But I ended up loving it. You know, I was like, for me, I went with diamonds. That's just something I always wanted.
I had a diamond engagement ring till it got stolen. But it wasn't a top quality diamond. It was a diamond solitaire. It was nice. And then I got heirloom jewelry from my grandmother, and that's usually what I wear for my wedding ring when it fits, when my fingers don't swell up. But it's a very vintage piece, and I like that. I like something with a little bit of history. I don't like big, huge ice skating rings on my finger because it's not me. I don't wear a lot of jewelry at all.
Right.
Like right today, I don't have any on.
Yeah. Well, I also love emeralds too, so I think that would be pretty too. You know, I mean, just depending on the girl.
Yeah.
Or the person wearing it, you know. I mean, anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if you're asking a guy. There's not really an engagement ring for the guy, so you'd be like, I went ahead and bought myself an engagement ring.
Well, no, he could still buy you one. But, I mean, there are now rings. It's been a trend where you can give a guy an engagement ring.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it would just look like a wedding band.
I know, exactly. Unless he, anyway, changes it or adds something to it.
And then I guess he can move it over to the right hand when he gets married, and then he'll have two rings and look like a gangster. Anyway.
No, that's a pinky ring.
Oh, sorry.
All right, another one. Post a photo of your engagement ring on Facebook and Instagram. Now, that's something that people do.
Make me look engaged?
People do that, and that's fun. But don't do it before you tell your family. Tell your family first, and then
get a manicure first. Nobody wants to see your
raggedy.
Right.
Anyway, we won't go there.
Yeah. Skip choosing wedding colors.
Okay. So how is that a totally cool thing?
What?
Explain it to me.
I have no idea.
You just say, show up and wear what you want?
I guess.
It'd be very disjointed. And I don't know.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do that. You know me. I have to have things cohesive.
Yeah.
Even if there were different shades of the same color, I could do that. But if they're totally... If you come in with garnet and she comes in with black and purple, if it doesn't go together, then...
It would just look kind of funny. Yeah. I don't see how that could work at all.
That's not a good one.
You at least have to have a palette of some sort. Even just any shade of this color.
I mean, are you going to have flowers if your bridesmaids come in any color of dress? Are you just going to have white flowers? Are you going to show up with baby's breath bouquets?
Not baby's breath, no. But you never know. Another totally cool thing to do is have a tiny guest list. I would say...
I'm all for that.
Yeah, why not?
Let's all go to Vegas.
How fun.
Yeah.
Or the beach.
Yeah, anywhere.
Or
I mean, just say, let's get your friends together and just go somewhere. And don't tell them you're getting married. Just show up and say, hey, here you go. We're going to go get married.
That would be fun. I think, anyway.
Get married on a holiday weekend.
So there's a yes and there's a no on that. Everybody's going to be together, but what about all the friends that you want to come that are with their own family?
Right. If it's a holiday like maybe Memorial Day, you get married on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You can make it casual, have a barbecue.
Have fun with it.
If it's like, if Christmas is on a weekend, on a holiday.
Even New Year's Eve, I just don't get that. I mean,
I can see that as a private thing on New Year's Eve. Maybe you have,
just your family.
Just your family and a justice of the peace or something. Or an officiant that can show up at New Year's Eve. Yeah, I would invite and make it a party.
Right.
You know, if it's a New Year's Eve party and you're inviting all your friends and say, make it like a pop-up thing. Like, hey, we're getting married. Mm-hmm. At the strike of midnight.
I can see you're on that pop-up theme. But yeah, I mean, that I can see. Yeah. But even still, I don't know.
Having everybody, you know, congregate like a huge planned out wedding on a holiday weekend or even a holiday.
I mean, first of all, the travel is going to be very, very sticky and expensive.
Especially like even on Thanksgiving, the weekend after. Can you
worst weekends?
Yeah,
the one leading up to and after are the worst traveling weekends of the whole year.
Right. There's no way I would get married on a Thanksgiving weekend
unless let's say you're going to be with your family on let's say Thanksgiving, and everybody's going to be there, and you know everybody's going to be there, and that's the only people you actually want there. Then it works. Otherwise, you don't want to take your friends away from their plans and family. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's a little selfish.
Yeah. Keep toxic people off your guest list. That's common sense.
Yeah, exactly. Common sense. It is totally cool, but I mean, you should do that anyway.
Yeah. No one wants toxic people at your wedding who's going to sit there and judge the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And in that same vein, people that you don't know, don't like, and you can't afford.
Yeah, if you're obligated to have people from your work there, make it minimal. Like maybe your manager, not necessarily his assistant and your assistant, and you know, you don't need all those people there.
Have bridesmen and groomsmaids.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean that's just totally, you know, because. You know, I may have a male best friend, and I might want him to stand up with me instead of my spouse or whatever. You know, that's totally fine.
I love that. I think it's a cool thing to do.
Of course, I wouldn't ask the man to dress up in a dress and the woman to dress up in a tuxedo or whatever. But you know, I think it's kind of cool if they're mixed and matched. You know, that's still fine as long as the rest of it matches. The colors are good and all that. That's fine.
Yeah. Don't have a bridal party at all.
Yeah, if you're
having an intimate wedding and there's, you know, you have 10 people there, you're not going to want. I mean, you can have witnesses.
True.
But they don't have to be labeled as bridesmaids or maid of honor, you know, best man.
Mm-hmm. You don't always need one. And you don't always need a huge one either.
Yeah.
You can have one or two.
Wear a colorful wedding dress.
Yeah, I'm all
for that.
I love, and we've talked about this before, those white ones that have the floral prints on them. I just love it.
I love the blush ones, and now they have those powder blue looking ones. Oh, or the dusty blue ones.
Yes.
The very flowy dusty blue ones.
Yes.
And then even some black and white ones. Oh.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. Well, that's not colorful, black and white.
Well, I mean, it's not white.
Non-white.
No, see, wear a black one. Yeah. Wear a short one. I'm all for the 50s look.
That would be cute too.
You know,
50s look would be really cute.
The full skirts, the calf length, T-length, or whatever they're called, with the full skirts and the
boat necks.
Boat necks. Do you want a fully customized wedding invitation suite? Well, we have a great place for you to go. It's called Minted. It has independent artists from around the world where you can get custom designs.
You can get a whole suite from save the dates to your thank you notes. And you can get free address printing. Just go to fromringtoveil.com/minted. Refuse to go on a pre-wedding diet. Now, this is totally up to you. If you feel more comfortable not going on a diet, don't.
Yeah, and then also, I mean, you're going to get your dress probably 6 months ahead of it. Mm-hmm. So if you lose a lot of weight between that 6 months and your wedding date, and you get it sized then you have to get it sized again. It's going to cost you more money. I mean, if you're not happy with your body, start way before. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, that's totally... And again, if you do end up losing a lot of weight, the dress that you chose at the beginning may not even look good on you.
Get married someplace other than a church. I hate to tell you this. I haven't had a church wedding. Well, we had one last summer.
We had one.
Yeah. I can count on maybe one hand how many church weddings I've had. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it all depends on you as are you really religious and you want to? Great. Mm-hmm. but you absolutely don't have to.
Right.
And it doesn't make it any less religious.
Right. I mean, you can have your minister marry you.
Yeah, anywhere.
Anywhere. At the hotel, at a venue. Mm-hmm. And, it's more convenient to get married in one spot and then have your reception there as well.
True.
Less travel time, less drive time for your guests.
Mm-hmm. That's like a no-brainer to me because you can get married anywhere.
Yeah. Walk down the aisle to your favorite rock song.
I walked down the aisle to, I believe it was Enya.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, I did
You
not
don't have to use Pachelbel's Canon D, all the time. You can do something else.
Here Comes the Bride.
Or Marry Me by Maroon, or what's his name? Anyway.
Or Kenny G.
Oh, God, no.
Hey, come on.
And don't say Michael Bolton.
Does he have a good walking down the aisle song? I know Kenny G does. Oh, ask your grandma to be a bridesmaid or your daughter to be the ring bearer. I think this is fun. Having grandma in there, especially if you're really close and she's a fun-loving gal, or maybe she's never been a bridesmaid, that would be fun. If she's able to do that. I think that would be fun, even if it's like a cool aunt or,
if you're
something
close
like
to
that.
someone in your family that's not your age or,
Yeah, they don't have to all be your age.
Yeah. Have a dry wedding. No.
Well, if you do, you really have to let them know because a lot of people expect that.
Yeah.
Now, some people in certain religions don't do that. So, I mean, it's just
Right.
natural to them. But if you decide not to, you better let your guests know because they're going to expect to have a little imbibing.
Yeah. I don't know. Ooh. I can remember going to a wedding and not having a bar and everybody's asking, where's the bar?
Yeah.
Are there drinks? Where's the bar?
Yeah, well, that's that they just expect it because that's the norm nowadays. So, how about serve something other than wedding cake at your dessert or at your reception for dessert? Now, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
That's like a thing now.
Yeah. Or only serve cake and punch at your reception. Hey, if you don't want to have a sit-down dinner and you don't want to eat dinner at all, and you're having an after party, let's say, you do cake and punch for all the people that are going to be there, and then go have your after party somewhere else.
Did we mention donut wall? I mean,
You and the donut wall.
I've got to
build her a donut wall.
Make it a mini one.
But then she can't eat them.
That's okay, but I'm going to experience one at some point.
Skip the bouquet toss and garter toss. We are all for that.
Yeah, if you don't want to, don't do it.
It's stupid. And I'm tired of all the single lady song. I can't stand that song.
I never liked it to begin with. But
I can't. I know. I've never had either. And that's the only song they seem to ever play with that. And it just gets on my nerves.
Here's a good one, I think. Remember that people don't have to like your wedding. You do.
Right.
It's your wedding.
It's your wedding. Let your freak flag fly sometimes. I mean, if you have... Everybody thinks on their wedding day they have to be demure and innocent looking. If you have tattoos, if you have colored hair,
you are.
Be yourself.
Be who
Let
you
them
are.
show. I mean,
if you're not comfortable in a big flouncy white dress,
bleh.
I mean, don't wear it. Wear something that is you.
Yeah.
Because people
wear your Converse All-Stars underneath your dress.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they think. Set boundaries with the people that are trying to push their agendas with you. Again, this is your wedding. If you don't want a donut wall, you don't have to have a donut wall.
But if you're inviting Kim to your wedding, she needs a donut wall.
No, I'm just saying, so there's the people, the pushy people, you all know who they are, that want you to do what they want you to do for your wedding. And hey, I might be paying for some of it. It's your wedding.
Yes.
Don't let them push you around.
Put your feet down, people.
Yes. Get
Get married at City Hall and elope. We're all for that.
Yeah. Last week you heard all about elopements. If you didn't, go back and listen to it from ringdevale.com/124. It was really, really good. So if you're interested at all in elopements, listen to that show. But yeah, why not elope if you just can't handle all this?
I'd be all for that.
I think a lot of introverts Especially if both of you guys are introverts, might just go with the elopement.
And I mean, you can dress up at an elopement. You can have your wedding dress. You can dress in a suit. You can do all this. You can hike. There's a couple that hiked up 8 miles to Mount Everest the other day, or in the past, not recently. I just saw the article. They hiked 8 days up Mount Everest and got married in a wedding dress and a tuxedo.
Yep.
They packed it in their bag.
Beautiful pictures, too.
Froze their butts off, probably, but hey, it was Mount Everest.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I couldn't.
No.
But all of this is to say, it is your wedding. Do it how you want to and how you've dreamed it to be. You don't have to impress anybody else.
Right. It's your wedding. If you just want to say one day, hey, let's go get married. 3 days later, you can get married.
That's right. I mean, really.
Yeah.
It's that simple if you want it to be.
Yeah.
But then again, if you want it to be this huge affair, go for it. And you can do it, go for it. Just, hire a planner if you can.
And set your priorities.
Set your priorities, hire a planner. Done. All right, so we got an email from a listener, and Shannon wants to answer this because I think she's a little more expert in this.
Yeah, so Emily Theme, she left us a review not too long ago. We shouted out to her, said, hey, thanks.
Yes.
She emailed, and she's asking about wedding floral and having, if I'm reading this right, having it transition from the ceremony to the reception. She wants these large urns in the floral thing, and then she wants them transferred to her sweetheart table. She's trying to source these urns, which they're pretty tall. They're about 2 feet tall. And I have 2. If you want them, they're black. You can spray paint them.
Exactly.
If you want to pay for shipping. Hey, anyway, I got them at Home Depot. They're the resin ones. The resin ones. Is that the word?
I think.
Okay. The resin ones. They're
Resin's
lightweight.
what you put on your bow.
Yeah.
So
Resin. They're lightweight. You can pick them up with one hand. And my suggestion is you don't put the flowers in them. You put them on top. So your florist should have what we call lomi dishes, which they come in many different sizes. And if, whatever the opening is, if it's a 12-inch opening, you get a 12-inch lomi, you put it on the top, you put oasis in it, you put flowers in it. Hey.
And it's beautiful.
And then it's beautiful.
And it's very easy to move, too.
Right. You can pick the flowers up and then move the urns.
I do have to say, if they're too tall, you're going to need to put something to stabilize it in the bottom of those urns.
Right.
Rocks or bricks, whatever you have, sand even, whatever it is that you can find.
Right. But, I mean, Lowe's, Home Depot, you can probably try Wayfair. Maybe they have some. But, yeah, the ones I got at Home Depot, they're probably 2.5 feet tall, 15-inch wide opening, $50 a piece.
Easy.
Yeah.
Then you can take them home and put them on your front porch if you want.
Because that's what I'm doing with mine when I'm selling the house. So,
unless she wants them.
Yeah. Unless you pay for shipping, because I ain't shipping.
Yeah, that will cost you a little bit. Because, I mean, even though they're light, it's going to be couple big boxes.
Right. Anyway, so thanks, Emily, for that. And I hope we answered your question. If not, email me again and say you want a better answer.
And we'll do better for you.
But yeah.
If you would like to support us and help us do the things we need to do and get the things we need to get, you could visit our Patreon page. It is fromringtoveil.com/give, Give. We have a few different rewards for you, depending on how much you decide to give us. So check that out. Again, it's fromringtoveil.com/give.
And you can always reach us at info@fromringtoveil.com.
Hashtag us.
And hashtag us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. We're also on Pinterest.
We are on Pinterest. We have a couple of cool boards.
Yeah. And we're also on Google+. I know not a lot of people use Google+, but you can search us on Google+, and we're there too.
And give us a +1.
Yeah. Give us a thumbs up.
Give us something.
Yeah.
I call it love, but whatever.
Yeah.
So until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen on.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find us on Facebook, From Ring to Veil, on Twitter at From Ring to Veil, and on our website, FromRingToVeil.com.
Music provided by bensound.com.